Now that your camera is effectively pre-balanced, there are a few extra modes to be aware of. I'm going to switch my motors off, and the camera is now free floating in the stabilizer. Firstly, there is inverted mode. You can use this for especially low angles. Now I have switched the handle from underneath the camera to above the camera. If I switch it back on, because it's a 32-bit stabilizer, this means that it can work in inverted mode as well as normal mode. It does exactly the same functionality. The joystick works as expected. You can see that it adjusts the pitch and also the yaw of the camera as it does in normal mode. So the joystick still works, and also the modes work. It does follow mode, as you can see. So this is very good for low angle shots when you want to hold your stabilizer close to the floor. You can use it in inverted mode. Again, if I switch the motor off and then return the stabilizer to its normal axis, then switch the motors back on, you see that it returns to normal, straight and level operation. Now, one other function we have is the handlebar attachment. You can get especially high or low angle shots, and it adds a little extra stability when you're using your stabilizer for a longer period of time. So let's look at the handlebar attachment. You have two handles here. These are the main part of your handlebars. These handles are removable and replaceable. There's a little screw here. You can remove the handles and replace them with your own handles if you prefer different ones. You have two carbon fiber rods. These will attach to the handles, and the carbon fiber rods will go into a central attachment. And this central attachment will then screw into the bottom of the handle on your stabilizer. So let's set this up. The carbon fiber rods go in at an angle that you will see on your handles. So your handles actually are angled onto the ends of the carbon fiber rod. So just push the rod through to the other end of the handle and then tighten this screw up. And that's one handle in. Same with the other handle. Again, they go in at an angle, so you just push this carbon fiber rod through until it comes through the other side and screw it in there. Now you want these to be roughly the same, so push them into the same amount because that will aid your balance. And then what you do is you place both of the carbon fiber rods in your central attachment. So you slide one into one end and then you screw it tight so that your carbon fiber rod is in. And you slide the other carbon fiber rod into the other side. Again, you don't need to push the rods all the way through, just make sure that they go to the end of the hole and then screw it tight. Make sure that your rods are tight, but not too tight that you can't undo them. Just tight enough so that they don't slide around within the attachments. Okay, make sure your handles are straight and level and balanced. Your handles are going to be used for extra balance on your stabilizer. In order to do that, you will attach the central attachment to the bottom of your stabilizer handle. To do this, I'm just going to put that to the side and then slide the handles onto the end and then use the handlebar attachment. Now, the way you attach this is personal preference. You can have the handles angled upwards or downwards depending on your personal shooting style. I like to angle the handlebars downwards. Just make sure that the handles are centered and the handlebar attachment is tight at the bottom, and also that the handlebars usually are straight and centered within the front and the back, so that the joystick is facing back towards you with the handles in the middle. Just tighten that up. Now, this is good for either inverted mode or normal mode, depending on if you want particularly low or particularly high angles for your shot. If I power it back up, quick press. Now you can see that the handles work just like a normal stabilizer. Now you've got follow mode, just like you would normally. You can also lock it if you wanted to. Now it's locked straight and level. I can use it holding straight out, for example. I can use it in this direction, or I can use it for very low angles. I can hold it straight to the floor. This is in inverted mode, as you can see. And if I power it off and then spin it round, you can see that now it's in normal use, and I can use this angle for a very high angle operation. Power it back up. Now you can see that I can use it for very high angle if I want, and the central joystick is still useful for realigning your camera. You can still use it however you want. So now it's straight and level. I can use it for high angle. Again, I can pitch it forward if I wanted to. Use it this way. It just depends on how you want to operate it, and it still works in follow mode. It's still following where I turn my camera. And again, back to straight and level. So inverted mode or normal mode, the handlebar attachment will give you extra stability and shooting options when you're using your stabilizer for a longer period of time.